Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about AEM schedulers, event handling, event listening, Sling jobs. So first, let's understand what do we mean by schedulers or even event handling. What do we mean by Sling jobs? So first thing is schedulers. For example, you have maybe some background job which you want to run maybe on nightly basis, or maybe I'm getting one feed file from third party service, and that is also on scheduled time. Maybe it's a quarterly data or maybe it's a monthly data, and once I received that information, I want to process it, I want to store the data, or I want to take some action. Okay, so since I know the timelines on which I am going to get that data, or on which date or time I want to process this data, so rather than do it manually and process it, we can create AEM schedulers, and we are going to of course define the timelines on which time we want to trigger that scheduler, and then we will configure AEM services, service implementation classes, so that whatever functionality we want to achieve, we can achieve it. So that is AEM schedulers. We will give exact date and time, and if it is a recurring event, then we will just define it. We will see as in how can we do it. The second thing is event handling. Event handling is I'm doing something, some event is happening, and based on that event, some another event should occur. So for example, maybe I'm creating a page inside my content, or maybe I'm pushing some content information inside my DAM. Maybe I will create I'm just uploading a new asset to the DAM repository, or maybe I'm modifying any property within my JCR. So that as in we can invoke in event, and we can do further actions to it. Just a simple use case. So for example, if we are just activating a page and we want to do some background job, so what we can do, we can write an event on page activation, and then we can do that functionality as in processing what we want to do. Event listening, again, as in we want to first listen the event, and then we want to take some action. So there are options available within our AEM. What we can use AEM listener, which is nothing but this API, basically JavaX JCR observation.event listener, and we are going to track all the events using observation manager. Another thing is called event handler, which is OSI service event handler, and we are going to capture the events, and then we are going to take the actions. Schedulers with cron expressions. Cron expressions are nothing but the expression in which we are going to define the exact time, or if it is a recurring one, as in on which date, which time, even in seconds, the functionality should start. That is called cron expression. I will just show in the demo as in how can we do it. Out of the box in workflow as well, we can create launchers, and then we can define on which time, on which event the workflow model should be triggered. I have covered this in my another video, but I will just give brief about it in this video as well. And then we will talk about the job manager as job consumer, just for the sake of when we trigger this, how can we use this job manager as job consumer to make sure the execution completes. We can make sure, and then we are going to talk about these two URLs where we can see the events, and if there is any scheduler running, we can see the as in schedule jobs, etc. And then I'm going to talk about as in on this path in CRXD, as in how can we see the jobs running. So let's start with the demo. First I will cover schedulers. Okay, so this is one scheduler example class I have written. In Java, we know there is a runnable interface. I have just implemented runnable interface. I have implemented runnable interface. It means I am going to, of course, override a run method. So this is my run method in which I am going to write the logic, as in what should be done once the time of execution should be there. Okay. Another thing is since it's a component, OSGI component, and service is nothing but this class itself, then we have this activate method, and similar way we have modified method, deactivate annotation and method. So what I'm doing, I have already created a OCD class, which is nothing but my configuration class. If you want to know more about it, like how can we create a OCD and how can we designate a OCD file just for the dynamic properties, I have created another video, short video. It's a short video. You guys can refer that. But let me just show you what is written in the scheduler config. So I have just one property, which is time, as in on which time this execution should occur, and in which I have defined the cron expression. Now, what is this cron expression? Okay. So there are multiple online tools available to calculate the cron expression. This is my favorite one. So for example, if I want to run any utility on hourly basis, so or maybe after every 2 hours it should occur. So it will just give you an expression. It's called cron expression. So for example, I'm getting any file, read file, which is on monthly basis. I will just do it like this. So right now, actually, I have taken this as well. So now it's like every month it will the job will be triggered. So this is how we can calculate the cron expression. Right now what I have written is after every 3 minutes my job should be triggered. So just one property. Okay, let me go back to the main class. Okay, so what I have done, I have on the activate method itself I have written this schedule method. What it is doing, yeah, so this is the classes I'm going to use. I'm using the scheduler, which is nothing but the scheduler class, which is nothing but the Apache Sling Commons scheduler. And for this I have just used the configuration time, and as in on which time I want to trigger this scheduler, and then the name of my scheduler, because this name I'm going to use once I want to deactivate it. So for example, I just don't want this scheduler to run anymore. I will just deactivate it, and when I will deactivate it, this unscheduled method will be called, and which will just unschedule means just remove this scheduler from the container. So it will be removed. So that is actually a kind of mandatory thing. If you just don't give it, then you will not be able to unschedule it. Even if we disable this service, still it will be triggered. So this is a mandatory part, as in we have to write a deactivate method in which we need to deactivate the scheduler what we are scheduling in the activate method. Okay, and then yeah, this is one option, as in if you want to run the schedulers concurrently, but for this demo purpose, of course I don't want it. And then I'm calling this schedule method which with the schedule option. So this is what I'm doing. So once the activate method will be called, this scheduler will be set, as in this scheduler will be set for the specified time what I have given in the cron expression. Now whenever that time will occur, right, since this scheduler is registered, okay, and I'm implementing the runnable interface, my run method will be invoked. Okay, and inside my run method, what I'm doing, just ignore it for time being. What I'm doing, maybe I'm just trying to do something on this path, like I will just get this resource, and then I'm just trying to put some property to it, and then I'm committing the resource resolver. I'm just saving this property. Now I will let me talk about this as well, as in this job manager. So first I will just execute it, as in so that we can see as in how this will be occurred. Let me do one thing. I have already deployed this code. Yeah, I have already deployed this code, and let me just enable the launcher. So within 3 minutes actually, but if the time is nearby, it should start. Okay, meanwhile I will just talk about this job manager. So what it will do, so for example, your scheduler starts, and because of some issue, maybe server was down, or maybe you are doing some API invocation, and that API was not responding at all. So like this execution will be successful or not, that is we cannot make sure of that. So to make sure like this processing is happening once, as in the execution happening successfully, rather than just executing doing all this stuff inside run method, we can also use the this job manager API. Okay, I will talk about it, but just the 3 minutes time just started. Okay, so my this scheduler is running now, and I'm inside run method. So what it will do, it will just execute, then it will just try, it will just get this resource, and then it will set one property called my prop. Yeah, and it will commit the resource resolver. Yeah, let me just see if something is there on this path, as in this my property should be there now. Okay, so we have this property as in my property, as in we saved this property using scheduler. Okay, but what I was mentioning, even like this is executed successfully, but sometime maybe this is a normal use case, but maybe we are invoking any third party API or service, and maybe because of that API was not responding, or maybe our server is not responding properly, and this doesn't execute successfully. So in that case, how can we make sure like our job completes successfully? In that case, what we can use is the job manager. So we have to use the job manager, and then there will be another job consumer. So here we will set the add the job to the job manager, and there will be another job consumer which will see for this job basically. So this will be a job, and then it will execute it. Okay, I will cover it in the next, as an event listener and event handler. I will cover this topic. Let me just execute it. So this is how we can do it. Just give a minute. My job. This is job consumer. Okay, I have already added. So this is my job consumer, and what I'm doing here is basically on this topic, which is AEM my job, which I have added here. Okay, and I'm setting some property, and I'm invoking it. So again, it's like we need to, in job consumer, we have to implement the job consumer interface. We have to override this method process, and inside it whatever we want to do, as in we can do it. Okay, let me just, so since I have added it, this yeah, so that's why it's coming here, because I have added this job manager dot add in this one. So that's why on, and this job consumer is configured with registered with this job. So, and this is how we can configure. So I have just added in the @ component annotation only, and then this is extra what you have to add. This we have to implement, and then this method we have to add. That's it. Then we can do. So for example, if something is not happening, maybe it's not returning okay, means it's failed, then it will retry. As in that is also configurable. By default it's 10 times it will retry, but we can configure that as well, as in how many times we want this job consumer to retry if the job fails. So that way we can make sure like our job is completing successfully at least. Okay, yeah, so this is in the scheduler part. In my next video, I'm going to cover how can we utilize event listener and event handler. I'm going to talk about it. Also, I will talk about how can we see, as in on which path the jobs, we can see the jobs, as in which and sling events as well. I will talk about it. So please stay connected. Thank you so much.